Okay, so good evening, everyone. This is Python Day 3 class for this course. Okay, just one I'm repeating once more time. Not sure, maybe some of you are quite new over here, but if you find any stuck point or anything, maybe you haven't followed the video. If you followed the previous video or you have already have some experience over there, then it should be very simple, no issue. But if you're joining as a new member for these courses, then I mean, maybe a bit tough should be there, but you can definitely ask me questions over here so that we can clarify your doubts. And I'll also request you, whoever is just joined newly over here, please also follow the recorded audios in the YouTube link provided in the WhatsApp group. So please follow this thing so that your doubts should be cleared. And if there is any stuck point there as well, you can ask me question in the classes. Okay. Okay. So let's get started. For Python day 3, just a quick recap what we have covered till now. So from the data type perspective, we have covered most of the things. Especially we have learned in last classes list and dictionary. This is one of the uh, data structure in Python. Today I'll be just quickly touching tuple and set, and we'll be closing the data types part. So our basic data types concept should be clear. Why we are learning all the data types, especially focusing on the below 5: string, list, tuple, set, dictionary, but because those are collection of data. Okay, as in database engineering and all, will be nurturing the data. So there may be a lots of data set and all. So we can find while handling the data frames and all, maybe one of this, maybe list, maybe tuple, maybe set, maybe dictionary. Those kind of things are required. Okay, so that's why I'm just introducing each of them with a very brief manner, how we are using, what are the involved methods on top of that. Okay, so we already covered a list and dictionary in previous classes. Today I'll be just covering tuple and set. Then we have some conditional logic implementation in Python, how conditions can be worked, maybe case statement, maybe if else statement, anything we can do. Iterations, that is why for loop or while loop, anything we can take, and can go ahead to learn the looping system in Python. Okay. And at the end, we should be learning the function. We have already learned how the inbuilt functions are working over here, just like the print statement. Okay. Uh, just like the data, I mean, type. You have already learned type statement, input statement. Those are all inbuilt function. We'll be learning user defined functions, UDF, in Python. Okay. So these things we'll be learning in today's classes. Let's get started with the beginning. So what is tuple? If you can remember what is list, it's collection of multiple components, and all the same thing is applicable for tuple. Okay, but the only difference from tuple and list is sorry, anyone is telling anything? Okay, I think someone has joined. Hi, it's Swapnit. So yeah, Swapnit, good evening. Just to repeat once more time over here. Yeah, if anybody joins new, so maybe it's a mid of this course. If you have already followed the previous recordings and all, then it should be good. But if you are totally new over here, you do not have any background on datas and all, might be have background, there'll be no issue then. But if you haven't, then please follow the recording, and if you feel in a stuck point or any of the cases, then please stop me and ask me questions. Okay, then let me start. So we have learned already list. Tuple is the main thing I'll be repeating from tuple. The same operation, I mean the same kind of stuff we can go ahead with whatever we have done in list. Can do go ahead with the tuple too. But the main thing is it's immutable in nature. In list we have checked we can assign items in the same list, but in tuple it's not possible. Okay, so that for that reason, lots of the methods are not working on top of tuples. Tuple is static in nature. Okay, so based on our programming session, whatever data type I'll be choosing, based on our requirement, we need to choose the particular data type. Maybe I am collecting some coordinates. I'm doing some graph theory projects. I'm collecting some coordinates of some places. Okay, that coordinates cannot be modified in nature. So while collecting all those coordinates, I should not have to choose list there. Okay, I should have to choose tuples because I'll be not doing any manipulation on top of that. That should be stored in static in nature. Whenever it's required, I'll be fetching data from this tuple. I should not choose list because maybe for some programming error or anything, the list can get updated. Okay, list is mutable in nature. So for this kind of reason, we can put it as a immutable component. Let me show you quickly and how list. If you can quickly remember list, how the list is declared, a variable called L. Anything you can put a variable name, then the square braces. We have declared list in this way. It's heterogeneous in nature, just like fault. Okay, so same kind of it's a list. Only difference with tuple, just I'm putting T over here. Instead of square brace, it should be the normal brace. Okay, it's the only syntactical difference between tuple and list is this. Let me show you. Print. I'm just typing L, data type of L and data type of T. So it is a list and it is a tuple. Okay, you can see as per the output. So just like similar kind of list properties, it can be heterogeneous. We can put boolean as well. We can put floating point thing. So the components can be heterogeneous in nature for tuple too, same as list. Okay. Slicing part, I'm not going through it. It is same. Slicing means how we are calling the element. Okay, just like the same thing. What we have learned for list. Okay, let me just quickly repeat. So I want to check 0th positions data or third positions record. So the first one is 0th. Second is this is the first element. Means this is 0th element, first element, second element, third element. This is the indexing process. Similar kind of stuffs in list. So we can call in this manner T3. Okay. So it should be repeating. T3 means 6. The similar kind of stuffs for slicing. If I want to start with 0, I want to print till fourth character or till 5 character with a interval of 2. This kind of slicing we have already covered in list. So it's also done over here. So it's from 0th position, it's starting from 3, gapping with one element that is 4. 4 is been omitted. Then I'm placing 5 over here. Then 6 is omitted. It's fault over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till 5th element I'll be checking because this is 5. So this is a slicing part of tuple and it's similar kind of stuffs in list. Okay, but I cannot do item assignment. Suppose T0 equal, suppose 4 or 1. I'm assigning the first element as 1. Okay, it should be throwing an error. Tuple object does not support item assignment. But if I do the same kind of stuff for list, I'm updating list, this list, first element, to 1. Okay. Yeah, it's possible. I can print again the list. See, it's been modified from 3 to 1. So this is the main difference between list and tuple. So those are the methods we can see. Index count. We can quickly check those methods and test it over here. I can check the index. Suppose I want to check the index of 4. Okay.
మీటింగ్ ఇన్ ప్రోగ్రెస్ ఒరే నిజంగా చూస్తున్నావారా
ఫార్మాలిటీ ఇట్లా జాయిన్ అయింది అంతే ఎవరు
Yeah, Arvind, can you please go in?
అరవింద
Arvind, can you please just go on mute because I think some noise is coming. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I think a couple of new users has also joined, but the same thing I just want to mention. If you are quite new over here and do not have any data experience, then please let me know if there is any stuck point or anything. But if you want to start with the new courses and all, then you just have to wait for 1 or 2 more weeks. We'll be finishing our course maybe within 2 weeks. Then you can join with the new session. Okay. Anything you can do. So I'm just printing. It's a method. I'm working on top of this tuple T, putting an element over here just like 4. So this kind of thing should be working. So it is returning the index of 4. That is 1. Okay. So this kind of methods there are 2 methods actually. I can see T dot. If you can put T dot, can see index and count. Those are the 2 methods available. The other things are dunder methods. I'll be showing this thing in while declaring the classes and all. Init, add. The dunder methods are starting with double underscore. Okay. But only these 2 methods are available for work. Count means what is the frequency of 4. If I just replace with count. So the frequency of 4, it should be returning in the same tuple. It's only 1. If I just add more 4 over here. Yeah, it is returning 2. Okay. So for the frequency of 4 is 2 over here. That's why it's returning 2. Okay. Now I'll not be telling anything on top of tuple. Let me tell set. What is set? Set is ordered collection of unique objects. So let me just put it set. If you have already gone through or if you have the knowledge of set theory in mathematics, then it's the similar kind of stuffs in set, and sets is being used for the same thing. So if you want to have a operation of union intersection between 2 or more than 2 databases or data sets, there we can use sets. Sets has having those inbuilt methods available, union intersection, so that we can get accustomed into it. First of all, set is the first line is very much important. Ordered collection of unique objects. So whatever data I'm putting over here, maybe 4, 8, 5, 6. So I'm just putting in this way. You can see the set is not ordered because 1, 2, then 5, then again 4 is coming. 8, 5, 6. And it's also not unique. Unique means each of the element is not unique. 5 is present twice over here. Okay. But set has the capability, it will organize all the element in proper ordered manner, and it should also maintain the uniqueness of this particular elements. If I just try to print the set again, let's see what should be the output. I'm also typing data type over here. Data type for set. Okay, the class is set for this one because we are using curly braces. So set can be declared with curly braces, enclosing with the curly braces, and put all the elements over here. Okay, now check when I'm printing the S. So when that particular set is being stored in the memory, it is being used in this format. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. So it's ordered in nature. I have inserted the data is non-ordered manner. You can see 1, 2, 5, 4. But it's already organized. It's in its own way. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. And the duplication has been erased too. 5 is not there twice. Okay. Now there are several kind of operations we can do on top of set, especially the below union, difference, intersection. Let me quickly show you. I'm declaring another set. Let me declare this thing as even number 2, 4, 8, 6. Okay. Suppose it's SE means S even. I'm just updating the naming convention. Put SO. It's having 1, 3, 5, 7. Putting a common element 6 as well, just for our learning purpose. It's not totally odd. I'm just putting 6, a common element, just to check the intersections and all. Okay. So those are two sets. One is AC and another one is ASO. Now we can follow this methods, how the methods is working. AC dot intersection ASO. This kind of operation I can pass. I'm doing this method. I'm just calling this method intersection on top of AC, and it will be operating on ASO. If I just print this result, okay, can get a return of 6 because intersection means, if you have the idea, intersection is a common element of each of the sets. Okay, so 6 is the common element over here, and the same is getting returned over here too. If I just go ahead with union, can receive all the elements merged together. 6 will not be repeating. It will be checking all the things with uniqueness in nature because it's also a set. Okay. So the data should be unique. So those are the operation. Any other thing? Difference. Difference is the minus operation. Difference means for learning difference, we need to maintain the order properly because AC difference ASO means whatever extra data is there in AC, then that of ASO. That is the thing. 8 to 6. Sorry, 8 to 4. Okay. So these are the extra data which is present over here, but it's not present in this set. Okay. Difference means minus operation, what is there in extra in the first set, it's missing in the second set. Okay, copy, I can copy the set to another set. It's a simple one. This can be applicable for list too. I haven't show you. Copy means just like if equal, I can put C dot copy. Copy is a method. I just copy the entire set to another set. That's it. Nothing else. Clear means I can pop out all the elements for a particular. Yes. So clear means I can pop out all the elements from a particular set. Clear. Then I need to. Okay. If there is nothing, it's an empty set. Okay. Nothing else over here. Any doubt? Any stuck point from anyone till now? Nothing? Okay. Cool. It's fine. Now, what is conditional logic? Conditional logic means we have already learned in SQL just like if else statement or case statement. So the similar kind of stuff we can also implement over here. It's very simple. So what are the quick syntaxes? Let me show you. So let's go ahead with if else statement. If so, especially I just want to show you the odd even number. Similar kind of stuff I have also covered in previous two sessions. So just like I'm just doing a odd even number detection. So if x% 2 equal 0, then I mean there should be a colon. Okay, here I'm receiving an error x between x. I mean there is an red color highlighted things. It's an error because I haven't declared x over here. Okay, so you can see if x, I'm just trying to check the remainder. If I'm dividing the x by 2, if it is 0, then I mean we just have to put a colon. If I put the colon and press enter, you can see a space are already been added over here. This is called indentation in Python. Okay, in Python, maybe a particular statement is executing within another statement. Okay, maybe in other courses or other languages, this kind of indentation is not being used. Rather, they are using some braces. Over here, the substatement or this kind of statement, which is executing under another statement, this kind of stuff, maybe you can tell this thing as indentation. We just have to maintain this thing. This is very important in nature. So this spaces will determine if it is under this statement or not. Okay. So based on that, it should be executing. So let's put a print statement. X is even number. So if this scenario occurs, then we can tell x is a even number. Okay. Else statement, the similar kind of stuff should be there, a colon. Then I can put else means if it is not equal to 0. Odd number. Okay. Let's assign some value of x to x. X equal 6. Okay, let me put this thing in input function. How that can? Okay. X equal input. Input is a function, we know. Enter the value of x. And if you can avoid input is all, I mean, taking the or scan the value from user from a character format. So you need to convert this into integer. So I'm assigning or converting the entire statement to integer format. Okay. So whatever I'll be assigning the value of x that can be converted to integer and storing into x, then I'll be following this operation over here. Let's go ahead with the testing. So I run it and it's representing enter the value of x. Let me 45. Okay. So 45, when it's coming to the statement, if x %2 equal 0 with the remainder, is not 0 over here because it's 45. It's an odd number. So it's coming to this else statement. Okay. And in else statement, it can be successfully executed and it's returning this thing. Let's try for an even number. Suppose 82. Okay. X is a even number. So it's just satisfying the first condition itself and it is working fine. So any doubt from anyone for this conditional statement? It's very simple. Maybe it can be a big one or large conditions based on our topics or projects, but it is very similar in this manner. Okay. I hope no doubts. After conditional logic, we have for loop, or especially you can say it, iteration. So how for loop can be used? First of all, we just need to know one more things that is called iterable. For any looping system, especially for loop, we need to mention some iterables on top of which the iteration can be working. Okay. So the data that the last 4 data types what we have learned, not last 4, last 5 as well. So string, list, then tuple, set, dictionary. Each one of them can be used as a iterables because those are collection of multiple elements. So suppose I'm declaring a list. Let's having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe some character. Okay. So how the for loop can be executed? Just like let's for a loop variable should be there. Suppose it's I. For I in is a keyword. L means that iterable, that is the list. Okay. So the iterable starting with this one, printing the value of I. So as you can see, after the printing of this for loop, from this iterable, it's taking each of the value and it's printing this thing in this manner. Each value in one time. For I in L, that means one I is in this position. Okay, it's printing this thing. The iteration is not ended. It's coming over here. It will be going to the next element too. It's printing in this manner. That's why while printing this data, it should be starting with new line. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, AG. I can put any tuple too. There will be no issue. Just we need to change this places. So the similar kind of stuff should be working over here. So for tuple, for list, there will be no issue. For dictionary, a bit modification should be required because the indexing part of this is different. Let me show you for dictionary. Let me declare a dictionary D. Okay. Dictionary should be starting with curly braces. Suppose A1 is A. This is the key value combination, key value pair. So 1 is key, A is value. Putting another thing to B. Here it should be a colon. 3 C. So we have 3 elements. This one, 1A, 2B, 3C. Just to repeat once more time, dictionary, for dictionary, we are not following the indexing for each of the element because we have key value pair and the key is there to determine the position or the indexing part of the value. Okay. So if I just going to print directly the similar kind of stuffs in over here, I in D, that means in dictionary, print I. If I just go to in this stuff, what it should return? it should be returning only the keys 1, 2, 3. Okay, if I just want to check all the elements, we just need to use some methods. So d dot, let me put items. D dot items print I. Yes, for each of the iteration now it's capturing one element. Okay, if I just want to capture only values, so it's only values one. I mean A, B, C. Okay, so by default, if we do not put anything, by default it should be returning us the keys of the dictionary. We can also put keys in this manner. Keys, or by default it should be also returning keys only. Okay, if I just put d dot items, it will helping us with all the each of the item list. Item it should be passing over here. Okay, any doubt till now? Okay, just one two more things. We need to maintain the indentation over here too. If I just press enter over here, it is indented over here. If we do not, this is much necessary, because whether this statement is under this for loop or not, we need to check it. If we just remove this indentation, if I going to run it, it should be showing error, or it will not be in correct position to print the proper I. Okay, I is being generated over here. If I just shift it over here, it should be throwing error because it's not able to find where the I is there. So I should be, if I is there, it should be executed under this statement. Okay. Nested loop. Nested loop, it's similar kind of stuff. So we can let's use another iterable, just like list. Okay. So inside this thing, I can also put for inside this for loop. I am just inserting another for loop, which is nested in nature. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, sorry for that. Just come back. So I can print in this manner. It's a nested loop. Inside this loop will be running. And for this loop, the outsider loop, it's taking the dictionary's keys, that is 1, 2, 3. With one of this one, suppose when it's 1, then for each of the 1, another loop is starting. For each of the 1 from this, the entire set of list should be running. Let me print it. Let me put one thing. Suppose, let me put some characters. Frog, dog. No, let me put 3 characters. Then it should be understandable. So that this is the list value. This is the dictionary value. So I'm going to run it. So you can see for this is the outsider loop. For outsider loop, we are just calling the keys. We have 3 keys, 1, 2, and 3. When it's running for the first iteration, from the jth loop, the second loop, it's coming 1 frog, because for j the first element is frog. For this one, the entire set of this L will be printed first. So 1 frog, 1 dog, 1 1. So the entire set is completed for 1. We are going to the next iteration, starting with 2. So the similar kind of repetition should be there for each of the two. All the list elements should be repeated, and when this is finished, for 3, all the list element will be started and finished. So this is the concept of nested loop. It's very simple. I think you already have some experience on the previous C or C++, any programming languages. So there you have already learned this kind of stuff. Just I'm repeating or refreshing the thing by Python itself. Okay. So those are all for loops. Okay, range function. This is one more thing. So instead of using iterables as list, dictionary, sets, tuples, we can use some range function. How that should work? Range is a iterable too. So range means we can create the data set. Suppose I'm creating from 1 to 8 with the interval 1. If we just do not put any intervals, by default it should take this interval. Okay, it should be comma. Okay. Print I. So none of the iterables have used over here, dictionary and list. In this position, I'm using a different functions that is called range. So range, it will be just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So range means this should be our first value. This should be our last value. Means last value should be always less than 8. Okay. And if you do not put the third field is the the gapping one, the interval one. If we do not put anything over here, by default it should take 1. Value is 1. Okay. And if we put any interval just like 2, sorry, it should be comma separate. You can see 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, it's just printing the result with gapping of 2 spaces. Okay, hope that is understandable. This is called range function. Okay, there is while loop. How while loop should be working? For while we do not have to maintain this kind of iterable. First, let's declare a loop variable in this manner. Let's delete this thing too. Suppose I equal 2. Okay, while I less than 10. One thing, the colon should be there. Print I. The same statement I'll be placing I equal I plus 1. Okay. So I'm initializing I as 2. So when I less than 10, then I'll be printing the value of I. The next statement I'll be incrementing with 1. Okay. So first of all, over here, first statement execution, it is 2 over here. Okay. So 2 is less than 10. Yes, it's a Boolean true. Then it should be printing 2 over here. In the next statement, the 2 statements is under the first statement because the indentation is same. So it will be also running I equal I plus 1. So I should be incremented with 1. It should be 3 now. So there is no statement over here. So I can directly jump to this statement. Okay. So now I is 3. 3 is less than 10. So it's possible again. It's returning 3. It will be returning 3. Then it will be incremented to 4. Likewise, the same thing would be repeated until this condition is satisfied. This condition is lost. Okay. Let me run it. Yeah, it's starting from 2. It's printing till 9. Because when it's coming for 10, it's breaking the loop. Because 10 is not less than 10. Okay. So this is the concept of while loop. Okay, two important terminologies for looping system. One is called break, one is called continue. So if we use break in any statement inside the loop, it will be breaking the loop and it will be coming outside this loop. It will not entering the loop again in the same program. It will be coming outside the loop and execute the next statement. So suppose if I just do a break, so it will just print our first line 2. Okay. Then it will be coming outside of this loop and it will break the loop. It will be executing the next statement. Okay. This is called break. Generally, we should use this kind of stuff in a condition. Suppose inside this while loop, I'm just checking the element with some conditions. Maybe if else. If our condition meets, we can break the loop. The iteration is not no more needed. We already have chosen our required element, so we can remove these things. This is the criteria. So what is continue? Continue means maybe there are lots of statements to be executed inside this for loop or while loop. Okay, there's lots of statements. Suppose statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. We are also doing some if-else conditions over here, and we don't want this statement to be executed anymore. If one of the condition is met, then we can put simple continue. What it will do? It will be doing continue will continue the process. It will be going to the next iterations. So it's 2 now. It will not be executing this statement. Rather, it will be continuing with the next iteration. It will be running for I equal 3 instead of running this thing. Okay. So the main difference is break will just if we just receive break statement in anywhere in the for loop, it will break the loop. If we receive the continue statement, it will not be working in the current iteration anymore. It will be going to the next iteration. If we just receive continue, we will not be executing this thing. It will be directly going to this. It will be updating the value. If continue should be over here in this place, it will be going to the next iteration because continue it will be going to the next iteration for loop. Okay. Generally for while the continue should not be here, but for loop it should be taking the next iteration itself. Okay. Okay. So today's last topic is user defined function. So the normal functions we have learned today. We also learned some input functions. Input it's a old function. Actually, we already learned it. So whoever is new for today's session, you have checked. We have used this input function. We have used print function there. Those are inbuilt function. So we can create user defined functions, and why the function is required? Functions can be declared only once in the entire program, and we can call the functions multiple times. Okay. So let me give you some example. So how to declare a function? We have to put this keyword def. A function name should be there. Suppose new function. Okay. If you want to pass any parameter, it's fine. If you do not want to pass any parameter, just put some open brace and close brace. So define new function, then put colon, go to the next. And here also the same concept is there for indentation. If you want to execute multiple statement in a particular function, then use this kind of indentation. So I'm just doing a print statement over there. So what to put? This is a new function. Okay. So in this function, just I'm passing this thing, nothing else. So I'm just going outside of this function because I closed the indentation. If I call this function again and again, I can call this function multiple times, infinite times. it will be returning the same value. Okay, I'm just calling this thing. I'm not writing the printing statement anymore, but it can be used reusable multiple times. Just we need to call this function. Okay. Sometimes for function, we can also pass the parameter. Parameter means we want to take some input value from user and we need to calculate on top of this value something and we have to return something to this function. How to do that? Let's do the square of a function. Square number or nm, sqnm. I'm just telling a new function name, that is sqnm, passing a value a. Okay. So in the output, I'm just putting a return statement, not output, the next statement of this a cross a. Okay. So from this function, I'm taking this input parameter. On top of this input parameter, I'll be passing the output of this function as a cross a. Means whatever data I'll be receiving from this as input parameter, I'll be returning, just multiplying the same thing over here. Just I'm squaring a number. That's it. Okay. I can call this function in this way. Suppose 4. Okay. Let me pass multiple things. Okay, I need to print this statement because I haven't put print statement in the function. So I just have to put print statement. So this kind of function I can use multiple times. We can change the parameter to suppose 5, suppose it should be 6, suppose it should be 7. So this is the function. I'm just printing the function. Now in the parameter side, I can change the parameter by your own way. Okay, this is parameter. So over here, the logic is this: I'm passing a parameter a and returning the value a cross a. The same thing should be appearing over here too for individual parameter. So the first result is 4 cross 4, 16. So I have just written these code snippets. That's it. And I'm calling this thing for multiple values. So this is the concept of parameter 2. I'm calling on top of multiple values and it is working fine over here. Okay, there is no issue on top of each of the element. So that is why function is reusable at any in this particular program, in this particular sheet, it's reusable in nature. Okay, so this is the concept of function. Let me know if there is any stuck point while understanding the thing till now. Is there anything I should have to repeat or the things are not understandable? Okay, so this is the closing topic for today. Okay, I'll be just giving you an exercise over here. You can follow this thing. Okay, the old student, maybe Samya, I think you have already gone through this exercise. It's very simple. So it's based on the list operation, list, and based on this conditional operator. So it's very simple. Suppose we have two lists. We have two lists, L1 and L2. Okay. Now we can scan one input, scan or take input from user a particular number for a particular number. If the number is odd, then insert the number in L1, and if the number is even in nature, then insert it into L2. Okay. So this is a problem statement. So please do this exercise. We can check it tomorrow. It's very simple. Try it. If there is any stuck point or anything, you can check it in tomorrow's session. Okay. Anything else for today's session? If not, let's connect tomorrow with some more insights in Python. Okay, then I hope nothing is there. So let's connect tomorrow. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.